he started running a big campaign. I think it was for 20,000 euros. And he did not realize that the payment processor in the back of his shop was not working. So he burned 20K into the air for nothing. Hi, folks. Welcome to our next podcast. This time it is about, of course, no wonder, we're speaking about Black Friday. And what we want to do is basically we want to give you the 5 essentials that help you to get through Black Friday without the headache that might come with it. For that, basically, I have invited a guest and welcome Dave Diederen from SyntraLabs. Basically, Dave is really an expert in CRO, conversion rate optimization. He's a Shopify specialist. He supports with A/B testing and all other optimizations. So basically, in my world, basically, he is one of the magicians who does the magic that is behind every successful shop. But before telling too much, basically, I think, Dave, you can explain it much better than me. Please introduce yourself and tell us what SyntraLabs does, especially for online retailers.
Thank you so much. Incredible introduction, by the way. But yeah, what we do is we do CRO optimization for our clients, basically A/B testing on a monthly basis, optimizing everything from home pages, offers, shipping testing, product pages, everything to basically squeeze out as much CVR and profit as we can, with custom development on the side as well. So we can really develop everything that the client potentially is looking for, what they cannot find in apps.
Perfect. So basically, as I said, you are the magician who is behind a successful shop. For our topic today, Black Friday and the Cyber Weeks which are coming on, basically, I think we can focus it up to 5 important essentials. The first one that I see is indeed the website and the tech stuff. What I see frequently when we visit websites with our clients, when we are doing the payment optimization, we see that the site is really taking ages to load. And sometimes even that on a mobile device, it's not even responsive. So sometimes I really wonder how they are doing the business, but for some of them it really works, for others, obviously not. But from your experience, Dave, what can I as a merchant do, check and do a resolve quickly if I see, or if I want to check, do I have issues with site speed? Do I have a good mobile experience? What should I focus on? What can I do?
So first off, always do a Google page speed. That's the most important one. Look at your LCP. Look at your loading time of your website. Most of the times it's the home header that is causing a significant delay in the website loading speed. Super easily to resolve. Just add if fetch priority is high on the image or whatever you have loading in there on the top, already resolved that. It's so important. I think this is study that says every second that a page loads more, there's a 7% decrease in CVR or something like that. So loading speed is super important. Mobile as well. I noticed that a lot of brands are too reliant on the Chrome inspector to view the website on mobile. But when you look at the website on your actual mobile device in your hand, oftentimes the whole experience is different. So I always urge my clients to really grab their phone, not just look on their laptop, but grab their phone and look at the website how it is on the phone. And oftentimes you notice overflows or stuff being out of place, all these things, which Chrome tends to sometimes suppress, and on your actual phone device, you can see it more easily. Especially we've been seeing lately that some JavaScript codes and some JavaScript functionalities actually don't get parsed to the Safari browser as much, which is obviously the most used browser on your iPhone. So we noticed that we were running tests in IntelliGyms, and then clients were it's broken, the results are so down, what's going on? And then when we go to investigate, we notice that it works on Chrome, it works on the inspect element, it works on sometimes even the desktop version of Safari, but sometimes not. But then on phone, it looks completely different. It just breaks because the JavaScript is not being parsed correctly. So that's why it's so important to check on your actual devices to make sure that actually everything is functional.
Yeah, this is really, really powerful because even now when you said it, it's for me exactly the same. on my MacBook, even if it's a MacBook, I prefer to use Chrome instead of Safari. And also, of course, when I'm checking their websites in the responsive mode, basically, I'm going to the inspector and then test the different sizes. But on the other side, basically the same with my iPhone. With my iPhone, I would never come to the idea to open their website with Chrome. There, I simply use Safari. And if there's then really such a clutch, then you will not realize it when you're just testing it on the desktop. And also something else which you see on the desktop is, on a desktop, you're using, of course, your mouse. And with the mouse, you have a complete different feeling. If there's a really small button, you can easily press it with the mouse. But if you have clumsy fingers like me, then if you try it on the iPhone and you need to push it and then the button is too small, then this can be really painful.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So basically, our tip, or at least the first quick tip is, before you do anything else as merchant, just take your phone, maybe take also 2-3 other phones from friends, which are different brands, different makes. Use it, open your website there and guide yourself through the buying process. And please also don't stop simply in a checkout, but also important, make really 1, 2, 3 different test purchases for yourself, so that you only don't have the experience of the checkout yourself, but you also can check, how is my payment processor working? Most of them are already responsive, but if you have very old ones or historic ones where you are not able to work, let's say, with Shopify or Shopify payments or other big processors, then it might be indeed that you're getting redirected in a checkout to a redirect checkout. And this could be then a complete different feeling, which could crash the whole user experience. And worst case might lead to the fact that the customer starts abandoning the purchase. Yeah, I think that's really a great number one. The second one is where you should focus on for Black Friday, but also the Cyber Weeks, inventory and logistics. It's important that you have a very clear and a good inventory, and of course that all the products that you want to sell, that they are really best case available in your local stock, or if that's not possible, that they are at least available on really short notice with your remote stock warehouse, or if you do drop shipping, that you get at least the commitment from your supplier that he will ship them within 2 days. Reason for that is basically most people simply don't look what the delivery time is. They are so basically used from Amazon Pay or Amazon. When you put something in the basket there and you click on order now, then in most of the cases you have it the day after. And this is something which they also expect, of course, from other online stores. And if you have longer delivery times, let's say 14 days or 21 days, this could be really painful, especially with the drop shipping. But also if you do something like overselling yourselves during Black Friday. Let's imagine you have 2,000 products in stock, and on Black Friday you sell everything. You don't have any limit in your shopping system. And then instead of selling 2,000, you sell 6,000. Sounds really great in the first instance because you oversold yourself by 300%, which is great. But on the other side, what happens if you now cannot keep your promise with the delivery? Then the customers are going back and complain with your support. So you will have additional support volume, which costs you money. And on top of that, if the support cannot make the customer happy, they will go also to the payment processor. And a complaint with the payment processor is even more critical, because if you don't react on the complaint with the payment processor, it might end up in becoming a dispute case or a chargeback. And then your chargeback rate increases, your conflict quote with PayPal increases, or the ones with Klarna. And if this quote is consistently too high over several months, for example, then this might lead to the fact that your payment processor is giving you penalties like a payout stop, that he's giving you a higher rolling reserve because you're not delivering on time, or worst case, they do not allow you processing anymore. And honestly, it's great if you have an online shop, but how good is the online shop? Could be the best techniques, the best CRO, but if there is no payment processor in the back who is processing the final transaction, then it's worth nothing. So you need to be really careful there. And one of the critical aspects is indeed delivery times and, of course, delivery promises. If you make them, then also keep them.
100%. And if I can quickly tie into that as well, like make sure that you communicate this on your PDPs as well if this is the case. If you start overselling, make sure that you show it on your PDPs. There's obviously, as you said as well, there's a risk in overselling, like with the payment process and everything. But like to minimize that risk as well, make sure that you have it clear that like, hey, delivery times can take a little bit longer because we're in the Christmas season, we're in the Black Friday season. People will understand it. So don't make the mistake by just selling and ending up with nothing at the end of the day. But just make sure that it's also clear across your website, clear in your email flows, clear in everything. Just communicate that there can be small delays when you end up in a situation like this, because it will also minimize the risk of people actually going to your payment processor and like giving claims that like there's no product coming, that there's the false claims and all these things, something that you don't want to happen. So make sure that also across your website, you're very clearly stating that there might be a little bit of a setback in delivery times. That's completely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Important is there indeed the communication. And of course, there should not be too big discrepancies. What you should do as well, if you communicate to your customer afterwards that delivery takes a little bit longer, give them again the option to still cancel the purchase, even if you don't like it in the first instance. But if I have, as customer, have the possibility to cancel because it takes longer than expected, then I will appreciate it. And the appreciation will again lead to the fact that it's less likely that I'm going to cancel because at least I got informed. And with that informed fact, I can take a decision which is reasonable for me. If I really needed, let's say, the goods for a birthday, which is tomorrow, and the goods are for sure not coming, of course, then I have the possibility to cancel. But if it is something which I purchased on Black Friday, planning already for Christmas, and it's absolutely fine for me if it comes just, let's say, end of November, then I'm still happy with that one. Or let's say, even if it comes mid-December, I'm still happy. And then I can live with the fact. And that is also important. If you are unsure, basically, how much goods you should keep aware in your stock, or if you want to see if your logistics process is smooth or if there could be some times which can be reduced, then feel free to get in touch with us. That is something where we are also specialized on at Compaytence, and then we can help with that with you for sure. Then let's go over to point 3. I would say point 3 is something which is then also interesting from the marketing purpose. It's the offer strategy. And basically, what I think, Dave, feel free to chime in or correct me if I'm wrong. But what I see is plenty of people are giving tons of discounts on everything. What happens then, basically, we see that people are really waiting for the Black Friday or for the Cyber Weeks just to make the purchases which they intentionally planned anyway. And then what you do is, of course, basically you give massive discounts. On the other side, you have plenty of buyers at the same time. But if you give massive discounts, then this will reduce your margin a lot. And then maybe it's not even that profitable anymore. So what you maybe better can do, instead of flooding the discounts on everything, just take really 1, 2, or maybe 3 products which are really a good seller for you, and offer there the discounts, but keep open the possibility to then upsell during the checkout for other products where you still give the full pricing. At least my intake. Dave,
No,
yours?
I agree. I agree. Also, it's like, especially now, it's the time to play around with your offers. Like, what are you going to do? Like, is it a BOGO offer? Buy one, get one free, buy two, get two free. And do you offer like a discount on that once Black Friday comes around? Play around with gifts. Like, do you give gifts with like certain products, with certain orders, all these things? Super important as well, because like, if a good gift actually complements the main product that you're selling, people will just buy quicker because like it's usable. Like I see so many brands selling a product like a healthcare product or something like that, a supplement, and they give away like a PDF. People don't care about that PDF. They're never going to read it. Like 9 out of 10 times it's nice, they get it and then don't look after it anymore. But if you give like a supplement with something that people can actually use, like for example, a pill box, something super simple, people will be like, oh, I can actually store it in the pill box and take it with me without having to carry the whole thing with me. Stuff like that. Just make sure that you test it out right now so that you already know, okay, this is what my customer actually wants. And now once Black Friday comes around, look at the best sellers, and if margins allow it, give a discount on that best performing offer so that like the threshold to buy is even lower than usual.
Absolutely. Also, something which can also help to increase the conversion rates is to communicate a scarcity and urgency. Um, what you need to take care into that aspect is we see it frequently that merchants do this in general by purpose. They say, hey, basically, limited offer only valid for 48 hours. Or maybe they say basically only for, let's say, as long as the stock lasts. But in fact, what we see is if we check the website, then on a frequent range, let's say on a daily basis, or even each second week, then we see that there's always still the same offer in there. And what you do with that, basically, legally, this is not correct because then it's not a specific urgency, not a specific offer, but it's something which you start using continuously. So what you need to do is if you use scarcity or urgency, then make sure that you also have proper breaks in there. You say, okay, I'm not offering this for, let's say, for 5 days. And then I can say again, okay, it's now a valid offer for the next 48 hours.
And make it seasonal as well. Make it Labor Day sale, make it Black Friday sale, Christmas sale, autumn sale. Make it believable. When you want to have continuous discounts, and if you want to stretch it as far without like saying, hey, this is valid 48 hours and it's valid all the time, make sure that you tie it into seasons. You can go from Labor Day to autumn, from autumn to Black Friday, from Black Friday to Christmas, early Christmas, and then the beginning of the year, all these things. But like, make sure it's believable. Because like, if you show like, hey, this offer ends in 24 hours, people know it will last longer. For example, when I moved to Germany, I was looking for a gym, and the gyms here have the same offer all year round, but they constantly say that the offer ends in 3 days in the future. So it always extends. So people will realize this and will just not push back the decision. I waited for 2 months to sign up with that gym because I knew that offer will still be here in 2 months, so I don't feel pressured to buy. If that offer was actually gone, I would have been like, shit, I wasn't there early enough. Now, when the next offer comes around, I will act immediately so that I don't miss it. So make sure that it actually is believable as well.
Absolutely. And also, especially for the starters, for which ones is maybe the first season with Black Friday, Cyber Weeks, and Christmas coming up. Um, also, make sure that you basically stop announcing the offer once the period is over, because it happens very often that we still see in January or even in February online shops where we still see in the top a header running through that they have now the Christmas sale. And January, February, Christmas is over. So basically, I doubt it's already for the next Christmas. So basically, this is something people are then so much focused on finding new products or on optimizing the ads which are running that they forget about the online shop itself. Yep. Okay. Then next one is marketing and visibility. I think something which is important there is basically that you start addressing your new as well as the existing customers. Of course, it's easier with the existing ones early enough. So what I would say is make sure that you activate your email lists on time, and also you wouldn't mind basically how many merchants are really surprised how quick Black Friday is coming up and they don't have the social ads or the media campaigns not yet ready. So really make sure that you put everything on time, because if it's there and you just need to activate, you are way more relaxed than if you're just in a hurry and you need to do things quickly. If you do things quickly, it can then really happen that you have really big issues. I know one client, basically, he was also trying to scale and boost his business as quick as possible. He was focused so much on the campaigns that he didn't check that the shop was running properly. And real story, what happened basically, he started running a big campaign. I think it was for, don't let me lie, but I think it was at least for 20,000 euros. And he did not realize that the payment processor in the back of his shop was not working. So he burned 20K into the air for nothing.
It's like preparation is key with these things, right? Like, make sure that everything works. When you launch new ads, when you have a new offer, when you have a new PDP, make sure you stress tested it. One of the most fun ways to do that is like give the phone to your mom or grandma and let them go through the flow. Let them see the ad, let them press the ad, and let them run through the flow. Is it clear for them? Is everything working? How do they make the decisions? And just learn from that. And if you spot a mistake or they ask too many questions, you know exactly of like, hey, okay, here's something going wrong. I need to optimize this. That way you're prepared for when you actually launch. And then once you actually launch, there's no mistakes anymore. You know exactly how your customer operates on this new offer, or kind of know how people operate on your new offer, and you're not waiting for surprises. I've seen it happen where brands just change their bundling completely in one day, and the CVR drops by 50% the day after, and they just are losing so much cash because they just guessed that it would work better, but they didn't know that it would work better. They've seen it somewhere, but they haven't really tested it yet. We're actually working with a brand right now where it happened, and we're now in literally the process of getting them back up again, making sure that it's clear for the customer, making sure it flows nicely, making sure it's clear, because there were so many elements that was gone all of a sudden that just like, for example, the price was just gone from the product page as a whole before they go to the step 2, which is actually selecting what they want, the variants. And I told them as well, like, guys, like the client doesn't even know how much one product costs. Like, how can you expect them to press to select the variants if they don't even know the average price for even one? Stuff like that. So make sure that you actually stress test your offer pages and your landing pages before you launch your ads, because like it's so important. You don't want to be waiting for surprises.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's also one of the valid reasons why it makes sense to leave the A/B testing to some experts, which are necessarily in your company, but maybe even outside of the company, because they have the benefit of the experience, but also they have the benefit that they don't know your products and business so well like you do. Because if you know something in and out, then there's also the chance that you are in your niche as well. You are your guru. You know exactly what you're talking about. And if you select the product, you know exactly the price. But like Dave mentioned, if you have an example that the price disappears, you personally might not even realize it, but someone who is coming from external, he doesn't know that much about your products as you do, and he will easily realize, okay, yeah, maybe an interesting product, I want to buy it, but what does it cost?
I mean, what is normal for you as a brand owner? Is it normal for your customer? Like as a brand owner, you know exactly what you do with your bundle and what you do with your offer and like how this functions and everything. Your customer doesn't know anything. They come in there as basically as a new child to a school. They are starting from zero. So you basically have to kind of remember that like you basically need to treat your customer like they're dumb. And I hate to say it, but we see it over and over again. If we dumbify the website, the customer converts quicker because they actually understand of like, oh, they want me to click here and oh, this is what they mean. But if you make it complicated and it works for you, doesn't mean that it works for your customer because they don't know what you know. So like you have to get in there basically with the strategy of like, how would someone go in here that doesn't know anything about this brand and start from there? Because that's where the clarity will start and that's where the conversion will actually happen, because you give them that clarity of like what you want them to do on your website.
Dave, what do you think about customer retention? Should I focus only on new buyers, or should I also do something for the existing customers to make sure they are going to come back?
Definitely existing customers as well. I see it all over the place. I see it even with agencies. You see it as well. People also always want to chase that new money, that new revenue, that like, how can I make as much money now and how can I grow as quick as I can? Well, most of the profits are made in your returning customers, like your long-term customers. Like it's all about your retention. One of the best ways we see that working with subscription brands, for example, is having multiple mystery gifts that everyone gets basically month by month. Woofers does like an extremely good job at this. Like they had this like 5 mystery gifts that you get with your subscription, basically extending the LTV of the customer. Because like if your gifts are actually good, like we just spoke about in the beginning as well, people will just stick with the subscription to see, okay, what will I get next month as a gift, or what will I get the month after that? So it's super important to focus on longevity as well. That way you can also spend a little bit more to get that initial customer and take a little bit of a hit in terms of like profit, and even take a small loss if you know that your customer stays for 5 months and the next 4 months are profitable. Like, it's super easy to calculate that then as well.
And also, the benefit is basically, as you mentioned, customers are really getting curious. Which type of gift will I get next? And for you as a merchant, these gifts, they're really just costing you pennies, because you do not need to sell them with additional ads. You do not need to ship them separately. You just have them in stock together with your products. And if the recurring customer is getting, let's say, for the monthly subscription, he's getting his new parcel, then you just include it into the parcel, and then that's it. You can even go one step further. You can check with your supplier and say, hey, create me 20% of the parcels just with the regular product, 20% of the parcels with gimmick A, 20% with gimmick B, C, D, so that you have then basically everything prepared. And then it's just basically for the pick, pack, ship. Do I need to pick now parcel A, B, C, D, whatever I need to pick?
This is also super important with your offers. Like, find a way. If you have like a BOGO offer, we actually have this with one of our clients. We figured out how much of the product can fit into one package so that we don't have to pay extra for shipping with the BOGO offer. So let's say you have buy 3, get 3 free. If it all fits within one package, you even save on the shipping cost there as well. If you have buy 3, get 3 free, and you have like to send everything in 2 separate packages, you pay double the shipping price and everything. So if you have an offer, try to figure out a way that you can fit everything into one package to save costs on that shipping cost as well for you.
Also, something quickly about packaging, especially when you're shipping from remote. What you should also make sure, also very important and powerful for the Black Friday and the Cyber Weeks, make sure that you have also at least a small bunch of stock available locally, close to your customers. Why is that? If you really have a customer who needs the parcel urgent, and where you can see that something in your warehouse in China failed, then you still have some pieces local available, and then you can make a quick delivery, which is done with the customer in 1-2 days, so that you are stricter than to keep your promise about the shipping. And also, if the customer says basically he received the product and it's faulty, instead of waiting again for 2 weeks before it arrives, you just send them from the local stock to make sure that it's quickly with your customers. And then you can basically make your customers happy again. Yeah, I think that's already the powerful points for today. Um, is there anything else from your side, Dave, which we maybe have missed? For sure, there's plenty of, but maybe something which just shoots right now in your mind.
No, not really, actually. No, I think we discussed everything in these points.
Yeah, perfect. So then let's quickly recap what we should focus on. You should focus on website and tech. Make sure that your website works mobile properly. Make sure that this website is loading fast. If you are unclear or if you have questions, then basically Dave is clearly the man to go. In case of inventory and logistics, if you feel that you maybe have too long delivery times, or something looks a little bit clumsy in your process, then feel free to get in touch with us. Then we are happy to help with that. For the offer strategy, as said, basically focus on a few products where you give the offers. Think about giving gifts for free to make sure that it's more valuable, and be careful how you use urgency and scarcity. Then point number 4 was then indeed customer retention. Make sure that you don't only focus on the new shiny object buyers, but also focus on your existing loyal customers, because they are the ones who long-term really going to bring really good profits when they come back and back and back. And yeah, I think we should have now everything. I hope I have not missed anything. Um, if some of you guys have any other topics where you say, hey, this could be also important for Black Friday service, feel free to put it in the comments. And also what we will do is basically, based out of this podcast, we will create a small PDF document for you with basically a small checklist with the essentials, what you should check and focus on before you're really hitting Black Friday or the Cyber Weeks. With this document, then you can easily check for yourself, have I really taken everything into consideration? And then, yeah, what else can we say instead of only saying, wish you good luck and a successful Q4. And if you have any questions about conversion rate optimization or the magic, what you can do with Shopify to make sure you get more and more successful with that one, then feel free to get in touch with Dave. We will also bring his contact details down here below this podcast. And on the other side, if you have questions about online payment processors, how you want to save monies with the payment processors, or how to get monies released just in case that PayPal or Shopify Payments or someone else kept on building up too high reserves or even freezing your money, then feel free to get in touch with us from Compaytence, and then we are happy to help.
Thank you so much. We're going into the preparation phase. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. You as well. Good luck with everything. I know you got this, but as well, still, good luck. I know how hectic these times can be. And for the listener as well, good luck with everything. Just make sure you're prepared. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you're basically as prepared as possible, and I'm not waiting for surprises to happen. That's like the least, the thing that you don't want to happen.
Yeah, perfect. And one more request to you, valued listener. Just let us know, basically, once Black Friday is over, which maybe of these tips was really helpful for you. And also, if you want, feel free to share your results before Black Friday, after Black Friday, because we are also really curious and to see what you guys are achieving on a day-to-day basis. Okay, in terms of that, spoken enough for today. And I'm pretty sure that in the next time we will have a new season for our podcast, and already looking forward to it. So if you want to know more about that, then just stay tuned, follow us on the social medias, and have a great day.